Welcome to our talk on innovating novel online social spaces with diverse middle school girls. I'm Catherine Delcourt from Wellesley College, and this is work in collaboration with Linda Charmaraman from the Wellesley Centers for Women, Sidrah Durrani at Teachers College, Columbia University, Quan at Wellesley College, and Xiao at Wellesley College. We conducted a study on ideation and collaboration in a synchronous virtual design workshop for middle school girls. Early adolescence, so 10 to 14-year-old, is a critical turning point, especially for girls in their self-concept as future creators and innovators in STEM. We were interested in applying participatory design approaches to provide a focal lens on the social context in which this innovation and practices around creations and technology can happen. And for our workshop, we focused on social media as a topic of high relevance, specifically in the daily lives of middle school girls. Our goal in this workshop was to redesign more positive online social spaces. And the premise for our design sessions occurred in a broader conversation around well-being online. But in this work, we'll focus on presenting the collaboration and the outcomes that occurred during the design sessions. Our research questions focused on two main themes. The first was what types of design ideas are conceptualized by early adolescent girls, specifically for positive and supportive online social spaces. And our second question focused on the effective methods and tools to support collaborative design processes in virtual environments with this population. Our workshop setup included our recruitment strategy, in which we recruited through school principals, social media posts, word of mouth, and reaching out directly to STEM organizations. From doing this, we obtained 29 applicants from 5 different states. We chose to use a set of tools as part of our digital ecosystem. So we chose to use Zoom for video conferencing, the Google Suite as a collaborative design environment, for example, using Google Slides for co-design. We created a Google site to contain all of our daily agendas and things like our Zoom links. We also used Seesaw for activities and personal reflections through a digital journal. The structure of our workshop was over 4 days. On the first day, we welcomed students and introduced the main topics that we'd be discussing during the workshop. Our second day was focused on the first phase of user-centered design, which is empathizing with users and defining a specific problem. And we did this through building personas together. On the third day, we conducted ideation and brainstorming through sketching design ideas. And on the final day, students created final projects, presented them to the larger group, and we debriefed on the activities that we conducted during the workshop. We had 17 participants who came from 8 different middle schools across 4 states, and they spanned 3 different time zones. And the students' ages ranged from 11 to 14, which spanned all of middle school from 6th to 9th grade. 16 participants identified as female and 1 non-binary. And then we had 9 students identifying as Asian, 6 white, 4 Black, 1 Native American. Our data analysis presented in this project was focused on the qualitative data occurring during the design sessions, which happened in small breakout groups on Zoom.
For personas, we asked our participants to create a fictional character for someone of your age who aspires to a career in STEM. We provided our participants resources in appendix slides, including examples and graphic icon that they could be copy and pasted in the group slide. And there's a single slide template that includes hobbies, career interests, and skills that they can fill in. On the first day, facilitators encourages students to build on each other using yes and facilitators took on more initiative on editing the slides and encouraged participants to contribute and to the group discussions. On the third day of our workshop, we have our brainstorm activity, which was how might we help teenagers explore their interest and be their authentic selves online? So we encourage them to think about wild ideas and to think outside the box at first, and then narrow it down to specific and more cohesive ideas that they can design. The tools that we use includes pen and paper sketches, virtual post-it notes, blank Google Slides, and comic boards template. So on the final day, it is the final projects. Our participants are asked to create an online community or app that enhances positive or pro-social interactions within teens. So for me, I led the yellow group, and we created an app called What's Me app, which is basically a space for youth to, with similar interests, to build connection with each other and encourage each other in a very friendly place that they can share their ideas and interests. The picture is a prototype that our participants created. And what we realized is that all the functions are kind of like a combination of all members' interests and skills. For example, building community and finding a career in STEM.
Through these design activities, we identified different collaborative strategies that occurred between facilitators and students and between students. We also noted particular trajectories of growth. For example, the students saying that the breakout sessions were great. It was a great way for me to be able to get to know new people, as well as be able to interact with people without being nervous. Answering our research questions, the first one around design ideas that were conceptualized by early adolescent girls in our workshop created ideas around community guidelines and moderation strategies and social applications. They were also interested in targeting local communities, such as local neighborhoods or middle schools and high schools. They were also interested in focusing on interest-based groups. We also saw the topic of environmentalism and climate change appear as top concerns and topics of interest as focal themes for these social spaces. For our second question on effective methods and tools, we found that our multimodal forms of communication were effective in engaging participants. Our facilitators in the small groups were essential in coordinating the design activities that were occurring. And we found that small breakout groups with a small number of participants, 3 to 5, was especially effective in engaging students through the design activities. Thank you for listening.